I want to go to the phone right now. We have Roseann Sdoia on the phone, and you are a victim of the Boston Marathon bombing, Roseann. Thank you so much for joining us on the phone. I cannot imagine your emotions at this point. So I'll just ask you, Aura, give me a sense of how you're feeling, how you felt when you heard that verdict.
Well, to be honest, I was going about my day today and didn't even think about the trial and about the verdict possibly coming down today. I happened to check my email and got an update stating that it would come down at 3 o'clock. And, it's definitely a moment that I wasn't sure when it would happen, and kind of glad that it was cut over, and we wanted to just hear the verdict and be done with it.
So I know there were a lot of different feelings amongst victims about what they would like to see happen. Not everyone wanted to see the death penalty. How were you feeling ahead of this verdict? Did you have a desire any particular way?
To be honest, both have their pros and cons in the situation, and for me, it's not going to change my life any way much. For me, I'm just moving forward and trying to put it behind me, and the more it's discussed, the more that, it's in the way. Yeah. So for me, it was just glad that it was over. I have treated it like politics, where it's something, or religion, where it's something that everybody has their views. There's no right or wrong answers. And so I've just kind of stayed out of discussing what my thoughts and opinions were. But more importantly, I think I really just wanted to support the families of the deceased, because they've lost loved ones. It's just much more tragic for them. And for me, I'm moving on. So, it doesn't matter either way. I just want it to be out of the news, I think, in one sense, and everybody can move on. Because there's some people that when they see him or hear his name tend to, get caught up in it, and it's just time for it to be over.
So, because he got the death penalty, it's not completely over. How do you feel about that? There's probably going to be appeals, and this conversation is going to continue.
Yeah, I hope that part goes fast, and I understand that, and I just hope that it's just a quick process.
Can you remind us of where you were that day and what you went through?
I was at the second location out in front of Forum, and I've lost my right leg above the knee. So I'm an above the knee amputee on the right side.
You didn't testify, did you?
I did have to testify.
You did testify.
Yeah.
Did you get a sense at all as to whether you thought he felt anything, whether it was remorse or anything at all?
I felt as though that he didn't have any remorse. He pretty much sat there, stone-faced. He did look at me, and we did make eye contact, and he actually gave me kind of a smirk, like a dirty smirk. And, to me, I know that it's no satisfaction whatsoever, but to me, it was just being able to look him in the eye and knowing and being able to face the person that did it. Not that I was ever afraid of him, but just to kind of put this person, together with what happened that day. Yeah,
I can imagine. You've come to a very enlightened place, considering the injury that you sustained. How did you arrive to where you are at now, where you're ready to just get it over with and move on, and not take the verdict personally? Because I think a lot of people who probably weren't even at the Boston Marathon are taking the verdict very personally.
I don't know. It's just because I think for me, my life has changed so much, and my physical body's changed so much that it's still very surreal to me. I think that it's a different view if you're critically injured versus others that were injured. It's just so surreal. I still wake up every day and look down and go, oh my God, I don't have a leg. So it's something that I don't know if that's how I'm dealing with it personally. But for me, it's something that I still don't understand. So it's hard to really get so crazed over it. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing, you can get so crazed over it and ruin your life. But for me, it's just like, just dealing with it. And again, I still don't know what happened, so it's kind of like I'm working through everything. I think, if I still had all my limbs and my life didn't change so much physically and, emotionally, that it would be a different story. But for me, it's just having to move on.
What did you make of some of the mitigating factors that the defense argued that, he had a bit of a rough childhood, that his older brother was a dominating force, and perhaps all of this may not have happened if it wasn't for his brother? Did you buy that?
No, I mean, but that's my personal view on it. And I just think someone's 20 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, right from wrong, and no matter how much a family member influences you, it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm talking to you, and I just find the place that you arrived at is absolutely remarkable.
Thank you.
I don't hear an ounce of anger in your voice. I'm thoroughly impressed. I think a lot of people could learn from you.
Thank you very much. It's a waste of time, honestly.
Yeah.
So, it's just, you lose a lot of life if you focus on it.
Yeah. Are there plans for tonight at all?
No, because I wasn't really even thinking about it, to be honest. It was kind of in the back of my mind, but I guess maybe in a sense I didn't think it would come down until Monday, and I have plans on Monday, so I just didn't really think that it was going to happen. So, no, just going about normal life.
Well, God bless you, Roseann. Like I said before, I am thoroughly impressed. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to us
Thank you so much.
on a day like today. Thank you.